Now I have all of my seams are facing so that I can see where the seam is. And then just kind of heating the whole thing a little bit. And you can come in closer if you can't see. You're going to need to see this. Now what's going to happen is the flame turns orange. Here it comes. Right after this, watch the surface get wet. Can you see the wet coming on? And there it is. I'm going to let it cool a little, and then I'm going to actually fuse it from the back side. Because if I try to fuse all the way to the front side, I've been melted it to the core. Here it comes. Here's the wet. Here it comes. Here it comes. And there it is, right?
How do you know that there it is point?
Well, because you can see the seam go away. Okay. In other words, like, okay, this has a little on the front side. There it is. It's that wet, and you actually see the seam start to disappear. Now watch again here, and you'll see the flux. When you get to the earrings, you'll see the flux actually turns brown. In this, it's harder to see. So now, see it starting to get wet. You see that wet? And see the flow? Right?
But
one more
glowing.
time.
It's glowing, but it's not.
Can you guys see? All right.
But it's not too red. You know how you said it gets sand.
Here comes the red. Here comes the red. And watch the surface. See the wet?
Oh, wow.
It's wet, right?
Yeah, cool.
So now I'm going to flip them over and go from the back side.
Oh, you do it again.
Because if I went all the way to the front side, I would then be melting it to the core and it can lose its shape. Here comes the wet, and there it is. See it?
This is the front side.
Pardon?
What do you mean by the back side?
Okay, all right. I did it. If I want to go all the way through this wire, it's going to start to melt. So I go halfway, and I fuse the top, and I see it flow, and then I let it cool, and I turn it over, and I fuse from the back side. Because then I'm not melting it to the core. The round will become ovaled and flatter on the back side if I melt all the way to the back side. Because you literally melt it all the way through. I don't want to do that. I just want to, it's a fine line there.
And the seam will disappear.
Pretty much. You can kind of still see it, but even just the slightest Scotch-Brite. Here it comes. Okay, here comes the wet, and there it is, right? Again. One more time.
No, go ahead.
There's my seam. I couldn't even find it. And here it comes. Here comes the wet, and there's the flow. That's it. So I want you to see how they will relax and lay down. So I'm just kind of heating the whole thing. Of course, the top one, both of these want to spin. So I'm concentrating my heat below it. And I'm going to bring it up a little more slowly because I want these to have time to rest down. Okay. You can see the top two are hotter than the bottom ones, right?
Pardon?
The top two rings are hotter than the bottom ones. And I still have a gap right in there. So I'm giving it time for these to, once it gets to like super annealed, it's past the annealing temperature because I'm where it starts to look wet, right? And I'm giving this time. They're starting to lay down. And I'm getting towards the wet look. Here it comes. Now, I just keep my flame in one spot and I spin my ring.
Wow. Worry about it melting?
For more information on Argentium, check out my video series, Techniques in Argentium, available at rondacoryell.com.